Lieutenant Governor Patrick is currently serving as the acting governor of the state because Governor Greg Abbott is overseas. So with that, Lieutenant Governor, thank you for coming on. And what update can you give us on this storm? What's the biggest challenge been for you and your people today?
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for having us, because information to the public is very important in this case. So right now, presently, the storm is heading to northeast Texas, the areas of Lufkin and Nacogdoches and Tyler and Texarkana. The National Hurricane Weather Service had originally thought the winds would die down, the rain would kind of slow down a little bit as it moved out of the greater Houston area. That's not the case. We expect 6 to 10 inches of rain, maybe a little bit more in northeast Texas, as well as winds, tropical force winds, till maybe midnight or beyond. So northeast Texas, they're not out of this storm yet. It's just heading their way. And we're cautioning the people there, as we did in southeast Texas, to not drive, because it may seem like there's not a lot of rain where you are, and then you drive a few miles and now suddenly you've hit 6 or 8 inches of rain and flooding, and then you're stuck and we have to come and rescue you, and that puts your life and the rescuer's life at risk. So we want to caution the people in northeast Texas. As far as the storm, some people look at a Category 1 and say, oh, it's a Category 1. Well, Category 1 is 75 to 94 miles an hour. And we had wind today downtown Houston in the middle of the day, 80 miles an hour, with gusts well over that. So throughout the coastal area, Matagorda, where it came ashore, Matagorda County, and then in the Galveston area, in the city and the coast, had a big surge, a lot of rain, a lot of wind. It moved to Houston. And as I was cautioning folks the last couple of days, it may be a Category 1 to some other people who aren't affected, but if you're in the middle of an 80-mile-an-hour wind and a lot of rain and possible tornadoes and a surge down on the coast, and it's a big storm, and it was a big storm. And thankfully, so far, we've not had any drownings that I know. That's the biggest thing that happens. But we've had 2 terrible tragedies of freak accidents of trees falling on 2 individuals who were killed because the soil is so soft, a little bit of wind and all the rain, the trees topple over, and they topple over quickly. So for the most part, the storm is going to be out of Texas by midnight tonight, but northeast Texas has some issues coming, and Houston and that greater area will have some flooding because all that rain up north has to come down the rivers through Houston to get out to the Gulf.
Yeah, we've seen that in past storms where it's been a concern, the Houston area with flooding. But what would you say, though, before I ask you more about that, about power? Where are you? We mentioned 2 million as a number. I'm sure it's going to take some time. What's the update on power?
Yeah, so the numbers, actually, the last numbers I just checked are about 2.7 million without power. That's a significant number. We have 10 transmission lines down. You go out there and you assess it. It may be a tree fell on one, and that's an easy fix. Another one may be damaged, maybe a longer fix. And so the first thing that CenterPoint will do in that area, and the co-ops will do in their area in rural Texas, they will go in there, assess the damage. And the first thing they do is look for the most vulnerable. So there may be people in nursing home or assisted living that don't have power. So they go in there and address that. The next thing they do is they look at the circuits. If there's a circuit with 10,000 people they can restore, or a circuit with 150 people, they're going to bring the most people back. So it will be a multi-day event. It will take some time. They're out there assessing now, and they will hit it hard. They've asked for 6,500 people from other states and other counties in Texas to come in. And as you know, Connell, that's what happens during a storm. If it's in Alabama or Mississippi or Louisiana, we go and help them, and they send their assets to us. So we're bringing in over 6,000 people to help. This is a massive amount of people without power.
Now, I mentioned the city of Houston. I know there are other areas of Texas where, as you mentioned, you're quite concerned about as well. But a big metropolitan area like that, so many people living there, is going to be a big concern, especially with the past history in that area, Houston and its suburbs, with flooding. What about the next few days in Houston, what you'd like to say to the people who live there?
Well, we ask them to be patient with the power. That's in the hands of not the state, but with CenterPoint, and they're going to be working hard, and we're working with them. I've met with them and talked with them several times today. So we're following up on that, and we'll be talking with the Public Utility Commission a little bit later about that as they oversee that industry. Secondly, we ask that people just help other people, and I'm not worried about that because Texans are great in doing that. We are all one in a storm. And so for the people that don't have air conditioning, if they have a senior citizen or anyone who can't stand the heat, take them to a public place. We have shelters we're opening up. So make sure they're taken care of. And then if you're fortunate enough to have power and you have some refrigeration, well, maybe you have some hot dogs you can share with a friend, or some hamburgers or whatever. And, sometimes you'll see cookouts on a cul-de-sac. People will come together, and we just need them to be patient. We don't want people trying to, do anything inside that will create carbon monoxide poisoning, which will be worse than the storm for them because you can die from that. So
Of course.
we just have to have a little bit of patience. It's going to be a little bit of flooding the next couple of days, and the power is going to take a few days to come back.
Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.